Hello and welcome back to the Banner Saga, where in the 15 minutes since the last episode, I had to get up and stride around my apartment for a moment and take a breather. Then a downpour started outside, which has been going on and off for the last few minutes. And then Google decided to gaslight me by pretending that the artist that I was mentioning in the last episode doesn't exist. Admittedly, I can't remember the name of the artist, but like none of the search terminology turns up anything even remotely resembling his art. So I feel insane, and that's always a good feeling. Yup. Yup. Hold up by myself, feeling insane. All right. What are we doing here? All right, we've picked up some more people. We also picked up some more supplies. I honestly don't know why we've stopped. Because it wasn't my choice this time, and we're not at a place. I guess we'll go visit with, what's her nugget? Odd. How are you doing, Odd? I'm all right. Not at first. What a weird... Why is this like this? Why is she staring dead-eyed into the distance? You couldn't have... You put in the animation effort, but you couldn't bother to give her a slightly different expression? I guess her eyes technically move. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. It was like 3 days ago. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny, my father named me Oddleaf before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. What? That doesn't even strike me as particularly a gendered name. I don't... Why is... Strong woman, what does that even mean? I don't like any of these answers. People look up to you, I guess. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't want to be known for handling my feelings. If I feel nothing about my husband dying, people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Alright, here's another UI gripe. One, why are they splitting... well, two, it's a double whammy. If you're gonna subtitle like this, why are your line breaks so bad? And if you're going to have letterboxing, why is the text only partially in the letterbox, and why do I have this one stupid arrow, which is the only place I can... Oh. Why is this a thing? And why do I not... Maybe I vaguely recall that being something I discovered in the very first episode and then completely forgot about. But even so, why is that a thing? It's not good. It's not great. It's like... form before function, as usual. It also... What's the point of this if it always snaps back to where it was anyway? Because we had those scenes before where, like, people were standing in front of the camera. Like, they were blocking the camera. And at that point, I had forgotten that I could do this, or didn't know that I could do this. But even so, it wouldn't have fixed it, because it just snaps back. So it has a place it wants to be. It's like in 3D games, this has been less of an issue in recent times, but it used to be a big issue, maybe 10 years ago. Thereabouts, more like 15, I guess, where they would give you free camera in 3D games during cutscenes that were not pre-rendered, which is like, why? If this is a cutscene, by definition, you're doing a cutscene because the game mechanic could not satisfy what you're trying to do. So that means you had an artistic vision strong enough to take away my my input into the game, except for then you gave it back in a different way that ruins your artistic vision. I don't know. Maybe that's the artist wanted one thing and the designers or the, you know, higher ups wanted another. Who knows? Anyway, I digress severely because that's who I am. If you've been on this channel, you should know that by now. Anyway, moving right along. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook, it's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. Fuck. You asked me to come find you? Yes, it's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. What would you have done? That's what I've been thinking about so much. It should be mine. I could carry it, but I thought about why he named you. What do you mean it should be what does that mean? Is that badly worded? Or is that supposed to... The phrasing there suggests that it's that she's upset about it. It should be mine. Like it was taken from her. But then the rest of this doesn't read like that. I could carry it. I don't feel like proofreading was... I don't feel like much of any editing was done on most of this game. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. I would vouch for you. Come on, Rook. This isn't the time for pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us. I think this is what has to happen. This one feels like an insult. Or bordering on it. This one feels too appropriate. Too appropriate to me, not appropriate to the character or setting. I'll do my best, sure. I think so too. Listen, I know I dragged this out. No, you didn't. This has been like a 30-second exchange that I'm dragging out because I'm an asshole who's picking this apart. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is my husband and I could never have a child. Fuck you. Get out of here. The truth is my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. What the fuck did any of that amount to? It was nothing. It was like, it was supposed to be weighty, but it had nothing behind it. It just fell apart at the seams. At the, like, under its own weight, it collapsed. Oh my god. So, remind me again, it costs me renown, which is also exchanged for supplies and items, which just doesn't make any... There's too many stats here, and none of them are... Yeah, fucking... Sure. Okay, so 15 is that's the upper limit. Interesting. I just don't know why you... What even is this again? Oh, that's cool. Instead of telling you what it does, it makes a funny noise. The amount of willpower you can use on any given action. Right, that's why those guys have 2. Okay. Not that I really need to, you know, power up all that often, and my ability only uses... Wait, this can be ranked up? How do you rank this up? How do you rank the... I completely forgot about the passive abilities. There's too much here. This game is short. I keep having to remind myself of that. This game is short. Like even all 3 of the parts, or 4 of the parts, I think there's 3, together are like less than 30 hours. Is my understanding. Unless the internet's just been lying to me. So what it... Why is this a separate... This doesn't... Why is this a separate stat? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why would this not be derived from strength? It doesn't make any sense. There's so much math going on here, and then they tack other shit on because they didn't use it properly. Why is this so complex? I was in middle school, I was writing game systems that made more sense than this. Why is it doing this? I'm just baffled. Sure, why not? Who gives a shit? Oh my god. Okay, I should be drinking more. I should drink before I start this game. I should drink before I start most of the games I'm playing on the channel right now. That was everyone, right? Yeah. So... It's weird to me that having her downed only injures her for 1 day and only confers -1 strength in battle. Like, why? It's so expensive to rest. I have to feed 500 people for a day to get 1 strength back in one of my allies. Why would I do that? Unless I've just got renown to throw around, but I don't. I've got renown that I want to spend on things. Am I insane? I feel like I'm missing. I feel like some of these things are so obvious. Like, the game is so complicated, but I feel like some of these trade-off options or like return on investment things are so obvious that I must be missing something. But and that's that's like redoubled by the fact that I get the feeling most of the time the best thing to do is not to use the mechanics. It's like the best thing to do is just plow ahead and do the most reductionist version of this and ignore a lot of the complexity they've seemingly tried to work into it. I'm so confused. The whole thing, I mean... I still don't know whether these events are random or planned, or whether you could, like, I mean, there's no way to know. Even if they are planned, then you would have to play through the whole game once, memorize all of them, and then remember when they're going to show up, because they're not marked in any way. I think they're random though, which adds its own level of, like, why is this game not just, like, that makes it a borderline roguelike. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. I don't know if this is supposed to read as a threat or as a genuine question. And then, like, this feels like the difference between number 1 and number 3 feels like it's influencing a secondary hidden stat that I don't know about. I mean, like, obviously that's going to have an effect on morale, but is it also going to have an effect on the, like, level of loyalty or something that others will see to me when we have other events go on? Wish the fighters well. Whatever. You nod your understanding. Kin is kin, you say. Do what you must to protect them. The man clasps you on the shoulder, and the fighters depart. I mean, why does the fighters count even matter? And there's Frostvalar, which is way closer than I thought it was going to be. It's like less than a day away. Maybe 2 days. Why did I get renowned for that? Why do these numbers matter at all, except for my supplies consumption? Why? I mean, they don't go to battle for me. Unless that's a mechanic that's gonna come up later in the game, whenever later is. What is going on? God damn it, game. Explain one thing, please. Complaints of Raffensvater. Complaints of Raffensvater's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled up the snagged canvas through a campfire, nearly setting up a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and Raffensvater's leg before leading him to you. This man drinks nothing but water from now on. Seems like the obvious solution. Raffensvater groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow you doubt it'll be long before Raffensvater manages to find another drink, whether you'll allow it or not. Well, I'm not gonna, like, I don't know, making him an outcast or killing him or whatever is not gonna help. And I don't know, when I said this man drinks water from now on, I sort of was hoping that as a clan, other people would check him. And I don't know, maybe rough him up a little bit if he tried to get into the booze. But apparently the game's just like, ha, loser, you thought he was gonna listen to you? That's what I fucking get. Dread, shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Raffensvater, the unabashed drunk, staggering towards you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return with no sightings, and furious men surround Raffensvater. Why would this be an option if this was not... Okay, somebody's lying. Is the game lying to me? Is this... The question is, why does number 3 exist? Does number 3 exist because the text is wrong, and it's lying to me saying that that scouts return with no sightings, despite the fact that there are actually dredge. In which case, why would I pick 3? Or is it doing it because it wants me to second guess the game itself, which is never a good idea. Never design, and you should not design your game to have the player second guess what the game tells it. I mean, unless narratively speaking, you're trying to tell a what's the phrase I'm looking for? Why can't I remember the adjective I'm looking for? A narrator who you can't trust. Why can't I remember the unreliable narrator? Unless you're telling an unreliable narrator story, there's almost never any reason why it's a good idea to make your player or reader or viewer distrust what they're being presented with. That just makes them start to distrust things they should trust and dislike things that they no longer feel they can take genuinely. So why does this exist? And the worst part is I can't quick save to find out which one it is. I just have to pick one and then sleep in the bed I made. Oh, fuck me. This feels like it's going to come back to bite me when he finds other people, or he's got a famous family member that we meet later or some shit like that. This one feels like it's deferring my responsibility and will only end up with me getting chastised later for letting them do vigilante justice, and this one feels like a lie. And none of it is compelling because this is all being told through, like, random text boxes, essentially. Not even particularly compellingly delivered. It's like it's 3 sentences. It's 4 sentences. It's barely 2 sentences if you fix it up, but fuck me. All right, game. I'm calling your bluff. This is the ultimate shit test. There will be time for that later, you tell the men. For now, we take no chances. Full day of uneasy rest passes with no sign of dredge. The caravan is annoyed by the scare and the delay. Eventually, Raffensvater bursts into laughter and you're sure there never were any dredge. Not long after Raffensvater goes missing, nobody searches for him or seems to mind.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostvellir now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against dredge as well.
So morale is now weak. But I don't really know what that means. At least we've got our sewing flying in the breeze. You jostle through fallow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostvellir for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This is not looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? You can't stay outside in the open like this. Excuse me. Oddly finds you amongst the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody is being let into the city. Why? It's overrun with Varl from Blotsbalkar, Greyhorn, oh god. This is so terrible. These are supposed to, based on context, I'm reading this as these are multiple places, but the formatting is terrible. It's overrun with Varl from Blotsbalkar, Greyhorn, people from Bitra, all the nearby villages. The dredge are everywhere. God, that is garbage in so many ways. That sentence genuinely makes me kind of angry with how poor it is. Because it's intentional, like, That is intentional. You can't, that's not a bad translation. That is not somebody who doesn't understand the English language. That's somebody who understands the English language and is using it badly. Or did not proofread. Like, this is done by somebody. This formatting with the clauses, the commas here. It's not clauses, but this formatting is done by somebody who mostly knows, or at least has a semblance of knowledge of what they're doing. Except that they haven't checked it, or it's been rewritten multiple times and hasn't been proofread, or they think they know and then are using it slightly wrong. And it's really bad as a result. Welcome to the Cranky Cast. And the chieftain of Frostvalar has locked himself in his great hall. That's when they close the gates. When the dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there. Oh, fucking... Why is this the story I'm being told? This feels weird. It feels like I'm playing a shitty side story, you know? Like the one they didn't have time to finish. Like there's a plot here, and a lot of work was put into this game, but that this is the part that like it ended up on the cutting room floor, and then somebody swept up the cutting room floor and was like, hey, there's some good footage here, and then threw it together, and this is what we got. What do any of these mean? Are these actual choices, or are these discussion points? We're getting in the walls somehow. I can get that gate open. Okay, you're gonna tell us how, or you just gonna... I mean, you're not the only Varl here, so why would they have a gate that's not Varl proof? Let alone one Varl. Let's see if there's any other way before we start breaking down gates. I wasn't going to break it, just push really hard. Dude, what? This makes no sense. And these drums feel inappropriate. Why would I rest, and why would I not rest? What does weak morale even do? This music needs to fucking stop. Fuck's sake. Oh, just incessant drums. Really runs the gamut. Okay. No! I didn't want... One button and you spend a whole day. Oops. Fuck you. I thought we were going to go into the camp or something, but no. It's just one button to waste a whole day and a lot of resources, and I don't even know if I'm going to get my morale back. You spend a whole day at the rest houses. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain just shut himself in his great hall and closed the gates. There are a lot of wounded people here, adds Alette. We could help them. The rest house is overflowing with refugees, the sick and wounded, and noise. What the Again, are these narrative choices? Are these mechanical choices? What's this do? Why is the... At least put a parenthetical here that's like, you will not rest, or you will rest, but you will lose supplies, or tend to the wounded. I don't know. Get them on our side. Alette and Oddleaf spend the day with others in your caravan treating wounds, most of which came from archers at the gates. What the fuck? Why am I just hearing about that now? Why is this the first I'm hearing that they were firing on... Fuck this game. I overheard from one woman that the city has been sending carts with food around. Oddleaf tells you. What does that mean? Could be a way in, Ivor replies. Next time they send a cart, we bring it back in. Oddleaf protests. Aside from leading to a fight, it would probably mean no more food for the refugees. What do these mean? I'd like to believe that confront them doesn't immediately mean murder followed by more murder, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know if they're fuck it. If they're shooting civilians, fuck them. Confront them at least. Keep your sword down until we need it. You tell Ivor. We'll make a deal unless they're looking for a fight. Early the next day, you spot. Wow. Dismiss the whole decision in 2 short sentences. Early the next day, you spot another cart leaving the gates of the city. After they've thrown their scraps to the refugees, you approach. Stop, my friend wanted to talk with you. It's not what I wanted? What? I think I can guess why. This character has a name, so... If we knew there were more fighters in Varl out here, Ekil might have brought you into the city. Who's Ekil? He's in charge up there. In charge of what? Oddleaf, why are you here? You were against this whole thing. Why are you there? Why is... Zoom out! Oh good, I can zoom in. I can zoom in so that I can stare at this. Boy. Zoom out. So that I can see, I don't know, all of the characters in question. Oddleaf, why are you on that side? This is not how... This is... Take one remedial theater class, please. Understand, like, the absolute basics of staging and framing and, like, literally pretty much any art class should have taught you that this is not how you present a conversation. This is not how you frame anything. The only I'm so cranky. I'm sorry. My day was fine. And I don't know why this has me in such a tizzy other than it's just bad. Why did they not think... Who had eyes on this and said nothing? Or, possibly worse, how many people had eyes on this and didn't know any better? Like, this game got it's indie, but it got a not insubstantial amount of press. Am I the only person who's seeing this shit? I feel insane. Better let him explain. Well, these are garbage answers. Why is this number 3? This should be number 1. Fine, let's go. The number 3 should always be the, like, or the last option should, structurally, should be the option that is the disengagement or the cancellation or the, like, or the most aggressive one. This is the default, I would argue. Fine, let's go. It's the path of least resistance. That should always be first. It's like, unless it's just trying to, you know, lead me on, but why? I mean, that's bad design on its own as well. I don't like any of these. Fine, let's go. We'll go talk to him. I mean, what's he gonna do? Kill us? He nods. You follow him back up to the gates where they open the doors for you. A man clad in black approaches as you step inside. Oh boy, he looks fun. Ekil, what in the depths is this? The man orders his guards to get the doors closed again before more refugees notice. You said you wanted fighters. You heard about the chieftain? We heard he's hiding out in the Great Hall. Oh really, I think you mean hiding out in a grave. He's eating worms, if that wasn't clear. What happened in here? As soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who couldn't swing an axe got one to the head. That's the short story, anyway. At least 3 clans in here warring over turf and food, and the worst are the godforsaken Varl. He eyes Ivor and shrugs with exaggeration as if simply stating the obvious. We're in more danger here than out there? Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. If you've got some people who can fight, you've got your own Varl. That counts for something. Okay. Problem number 1. What the fuck does in charge here mean? Does that mean you're the leader of the guard? Does that mean you're the leader of one of the clans? Does that mean you are the war master of one of the clans? What is your allegiance? I see no symbol, or well, you've got one on your shield, except for I can't fucking see it. I don't know what your relationship to this guy is. I don't know why you're sending the carts out, or if it even is you sending the carts out, or it's some coalition. Problem number 2, your own Varl. You know what? I can understand, at least in this world, that like there's a misunderstanding between humans and Varl about who's what. But 1, not a pet. It's a sentient being. 2, one Varl? Why are we suddenly asking like they've got a cave troll is what's going on in here? Like, that's not how this works. What is the tone? What is anything? And what is... Could you, like, untense your face a minute? If you're not gonna fight me. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me. And to take back Frostvalar. I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys have become the bad. Fine, cut the sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do right now is get out of the damned streets. Think carefully about what you want. Now, why would this be a choice? And why would... Oh, God. I just don't know where any of these lead, and the fact that I can't roll back any choices when these are such serious choices. Or, well, ostensibly. Fuck it. Let's go whole hog on this thing. We'll fend for ourselves inside Frostvalar. You can feel Ekil sizing you up on the spot, his hand hovering near his axe. He snorts through his nose, changing his mind. Good luck then. Hope we don't meet again, fighting for the same scraps. With the gates closed, Ekil and his men disappeared down dark alleys. Oh, did that mean just the 2 of us? Because I thought that meant the whole clan coming inside. But I guess fucking not. Hope we know what we're doing. Well, buddy, I sure fucking don't, because this game doesn't tell you shit. Making it up as we go, Ivor. Are they really gonna cut away from this group now? Fuck off. I don't think the game has time to come... Oh, okay. These are the 2 groups we're flipping between now. I get it. Fuck me. Alright. I'm calling this episode. I make no promises about this or any future episodes being any less frustrated and ragey. Holy shit. Please leave some thoughts in the comments. If you're with me, then tell me by all means. Or if you think I'm an absolute whack job who doesn't understand what's going on and is just stupid or doesn't get it, or you think I'm being too harsh on the game, by all means, voice those opinions. I mean, I don't think I am many things, but I don't think I am making I'm making some subjective observations, but also some objective ones that I'm then interpreting, and there's some objective stuff here that is just not good. But even if you disagree with me on the objectivity of that, leave that as well, because sure, this is fine. We'll leave here. Thanks for watching.